Throughout history, the Stoics, known for their profound understanding of human nature, mastered the art of living with wisdom, self-control, and deep insight into the human psyche. Among the many aspects of life they contemplated, the Stoics recognized the importance of understanding and connecting with others on a deep, intimate level. They knew that true mastery in any area of life, including the realm of physical intimacy, required knowledge, patience, and a thoughtful approach. In today's episode, we will delve into the secrets of female pleasure, exploring 9 powerful moves that 99% of men are unaware of. These techniques are not just about physical touch, they tap into the psychological and emotional aspects of pleasure that can make a woman feel completely connected and understood. By mastering these moves, you can take your intimate experiences to new heights, making her scream with pleasure and leaving her deeply satisfied. Before we dive into these powerful techniques, make sure to watch the video until the end. If you find these tips helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment below with your experiences or any questions you may have. And if you've tried any of these moves before, share your story with us. We'd love to hear about your journey to becoming a more attentive and skilled lover. Chapter 1: The Art of Teasing Over the Pants. When it comes to building desire, teasing over the pants is an underrated yet incredibly effective technique. This approach isn't just about physical touch, it's about creating an atmosphere of mystery and excitement that can drive her wild before any direct stimulation even begins. The real power of this technique lies in its ability to engage her mind and body simultaneously, setting the stage for an unforgettable experience. Teasing over the pants requires a delicate balance of subtlety and intention. It's not just about where you touch, but how you touch. Start by lightly brushing your fingers over her thighs with feather-like strokes. Gradually move your hand closer to her most sensitive areas, but avoid direct contact at first. The key is to be slow and deliberate, allowing tension to build with each subtle movement. Each touch should hint at the pleasure to come, keeping her on the edge of anticipation. This technique taps into the psychological aspect of arousal. The Stoics understood that true pleasure isn't just about immediate gratification, it's also about the build-up, the anticipation that makes the eventual release even more powerful. By prolonging this teasing touch, you tap into her psychological need for excitement and suspense, creating a connection that heightens her arousal. As you continue teasing her over her pants, pay close attention to her reactions. Is her breathing deepening? Is she arching her back, trying to get closer to you? These are signs that her arousal is building. But don't rush, maintaining high tension will make the eventual release much more intense. Variety is crucial in effective teasing. Don't stick to just one area or type of touch. Alternate between gentle strokes and firmer pressure, moving your hand up and down her thighs, across her lower abdomen, and even lightly grazing over the fabric covering her most sensitive spots. The unpredictability of your movements keeps her guessing, heightening her arousal. The fabric of her clothing adds an extra layer of sensation. By teasing over her pants, you create a barrier that intensifies the suspense. She can feel the heat of your hand and the pressure of your touch, but the fabric adds a layer of separation, making her crave the moment when it's finally removed. This delay in gratification is a powerful tool, allowing her anticipation to build to a peak, making direct contact all the more explosive. Teasing over the pants is about more than just building physical arousal, it's also about deepening the emotional bond between you. By taking your time and focusing on her pleasure, you show her that you care about her experience and are willing to invest the effort to make it as enjoyable as possible. This kind of attention can make her feel cherished, which in turn enhances her arousal and makes the experience more meaningful for both of you. In conclusion, mastering the art of teasing over the pants is about creating an experience that engages both her body and mind. By taking your time, paying attention to her responses, and varying your touch, you can make her crave your touch even more, setting the stage for an encounter she won't soon forget. This technique, grounded in the wisdom of the Stoics, shows that true mastery in physical intimacy is about understanding and connecting with your partner on every level. Chapter 2: Mastering the Clitoral Hood Massage. The clitoris is often considered the epicenter of female pleasure, and understanding how to stimulate it effectively is crucial for creating intense and satisfying experiences. However, many men overlook the clitoral hood, a sensitive area that can be just as powerful when approached correctly. Mastering the art of massaging the clitoral hood not only adds variety to your techniques, but also deepens the pleasure your partner can experience, making her more responsive to your touch and amplifying her overall arousal. The clitoral hood is a fold of skin that partially or fully covers the clitoris, protecting it and providing additional layers of sensation. This area is highly sensitive, and when massaged in the right way, it can intensify the pleasure, leading to powerful orgasms. The key to mastering this technique lies in understanding the delicate balance between pressure, movement, and rhythm. Start by creating a relaxed and intimate atmosphere where your partner feels comfortable and at ease. This could involve setting the mood with soft lighting, gentle music, or simply taking the time to engage in foreplay that builds her anticipation. The Stoics understood that preparation and context are essential for any meaningful experience, and this is particularly true when it comes to physical intimacy. Once she is fully relaxed and aroused, begin by lightly tracing your fingers along the outer edges of her vulva, gradually moving towards the clitoral hood. Use the pads of your fingers to apply gentle pressure, moving in slow, circular motions. This initial touch should be light and teasing, designed to awaken her senses and increase blood flow to the area. Pay close attention to her body language and breathing, as these will guide you in adjusting your touch to her preferences. As you continue, start to focus more directly on the clitoral hood itself. Use your thumb and forefinger to gently grasp the hood, applying a gentle squeezing motion as you move in small circles. The key here is to maintain a consistent rhythm while varying the pressure slightly to keep her engaged. Some women may prefer a lighter touch, while others might enjoy a bit more pressure. The Stoics emphasized the importance of observation and adaptation in all endeavors, and this principle applies perfectly to the art of clitoral hood massage. By being attuned to her reactions, you can tailor your technique to what she finds most pleasurable. Another effective technique involves using a combination of your fingers and your tongue. After a few minutes of massaging with your fingers, you can introduce oral stimulation to enhance the experience. Gently flick your tongue over the clitoral hood, using a similar circular motion as with your fingers. The warmth and wetness of your tongue can add a new dimension of pleasure, making the sensations even more intense. Alternate between your fingers and tongue, creating a dynamic rhythm that keeps her on the edge of climax. One of the benefits of focusing on the clitoral hood is that it allows you to stimulate the clitoris indirectly, which can be particularly useful if your partner finds direct clitoral stimulation too intense or uncomfortable. By massaging the hood, you're still engaging the nerve endings in the clitoris, but in a way that spreads the sensation over a larger area, making it more manageable and enjoyable for her. As you continue, it's important to keep the pace steady but not rushed. The goal is to build her arousal gradually, allowing the pleasure to intensify with each movement. This slow build-up is crucial for making the eventual orgasm more powerful and satisfying. The Stoics believed in the value of patience and perseverance, and these qualities are essential when mastering the art of clitoral hood massage. By taking your time and focusing on her pleasure, you're showing her that you value her experience, which can deepen the emotional connection between you. Another important aspect to consider is lubrication. Natural lubrication is often sufficient, but depending on the circumstances, you might want to use additional lubricant to ensure that the massage is smooth and comfortable. The added slipperiness can enhance the sensation and reduce any potential discomfort, allowing you to apply a slightly firmer pressure without causing irritation. Always check in with your partner to make sure she's comfortable and enjoying the experience. As she approaches orgasm, you may notice her body tensing or her breathing quickening. These are signs that she's nearing climax, and this is where your control and technique really come into play. You can either maintain the same rhythm and pressure to guide her towards release, or you can increase the intensity slightly to push her over the edge. The choice depends on her preferences and your shared understanding of what she finds most pleasurable. The Stoics taught that wisdom comes from knowing when to act and when to hold back, and this principle is particularly relevant in the moments leading up to orgasm. After she reaches orgasm, don't immediately stop your movements. Gradually slow down, allowing her to come down from the peak of pleasure in a way that feels gentle and nurturing. This transition is important for maintaining the intimacy of the moment and ensuring that she feels fully satisfied and cared for. The clitoral hood massage, when done correctly, can lead to some of the most intense orgasms she's ever experienced, leaving her feeling both physically and emotionally fulfilled. In conclusion, mastering the art of clitoral hood massage requires a deep understanding of female anatomy, a keen awareness of your partner's reactions, and a commitment to her pleasure. By taking your time, varying your techniques, and maintaining clear communication, you can create an experience that not only satisfies her physically but also deepens the emotional connection between you. This technique, like many others, is about more than just physical pleasure. It's about creating a shared experience that brings you closer together, making every moment of intimacy more meaningful and fulfilling. Chapter 3: Exploring the legs of the clitoris. The clitoris is a complex organ with more to it than meets the eye. While most people are familiar with the visible part of the clitoris, the internal structure is just as significant in terms of pleasure potential. The legs of the clitoris, also known as the crura, extend deep into the pelvic region and play a crucial role in female arousal. Understanding how to stimulate this area can open up new dimensions of pleasure for your partner, making your intimate encounters even more satisfying. The legs of the clitoris run along the sides of the vulva, extending downwards from the clitoral glands. These internal structures are highly sensitive and contribute to the overall sensation when the clitoris is stimulated. To effectively engage this part of the clitoris, it's important to combine different types of touch and pressure, creating a lead experience that stimulates both the internal and external parts of her anatomy. Start by positioning your fingers on either side of her vulva, just outside the labia. Use gentle pressure to massage the area, moving your fingers in slow, circular motions. The goal here is to stimulate the legs of the clitoris indirectly, while also building arousal through broader vulval stimulation. This technique can be particularly effective during foreplay, as it helps to increase blood flow to the entire genital area, enhancing sensitivity and preparing her for more direct stimulation. As you continue, gradually increase the intensity of your touch. You can use your fingers to trace the outline of the labia, applying a bit more pressure as you move along the edges. This not only stimulates the legs of the clitoris, but also engages other sensitive areas, creating a more holistic experience of pleasure. The Stoics believed in the importance of balance and harmony, and this approach to stimulation reflects that philosophy. By engaging multiple parts of her anatomy simultaneously, you're creating a balanced and harmonious experience that heightens her arousal and deepens her pleasure. Another effective technique involves using a combination of your fingers and palm. After spending some time massaging with your fingers, press the heel of your palm against her vulva, just above the pubic bone. Apply steady pressure as you move your hand in slow, deliberate circles. This motion engages the legs of the clitoris more directly, while also stimulating the surrounding tissue. The added pressure from your palm can intensify the sensation, making her more responsive to your touch. To take this technique to the next level, consider incorporating some light tapping or pulsing motions with your fingers. This can create a rhythmic sensation that mimics the natural pulsing of blood flow during arousal, amplifying her experience. The Stoics emphasized the power of rhythm and flow in achieving mastery, and this concept applies here as well. By creating a rhythmic pattern of stimulation, you can guide her towards a more intense and satisfying climax. As with all techniques, communication is key. Check in with your partner to see how she's feeling and whether she enjoys the sensation. Some women may find this type of stimulation to be incredibly arousing, while others might prefer a different approach. The Stoics valued wisdom and adaptability, and in the context of physical intimacy, this means being attuned to your partner's needs and adjusting your technique accordingly. If she responds positively, continue with your current approach. If not, be prepared to try something different or ask for guidance on what she prefers. In addition to manual stimulation, you can also incorporate oral techniques to enhance the experience. Using your tongue, gently trace the same path that your fingers have been following, focusing on the sides of the vulva and the area around the clitoral hood. The combination of oral and manual stimulation can create a lead effect that heightens her pleasure and makes her more receptive to deeper, more intense sensations. The legs of the clitoris are also highly responsive to temperature play. Consider using warm or cool sensations to add an extra dimension to your touch. For example, you can warm your hands before beginning the massage or use your breath to create a gentle, warm breeze over her vulva. Alternatively, you can experiment with cooling sensations by lightly blowing on the area or using an ice cube wrapped in a soft cloth. The contrast between warm and cool can be incredibly stimulating, adding variety and excitement to your intimate encounters. Chapter 4: Breathing Life into Desire. The power of breath on the clitoris. The subtlety of breath can be one of the most overlooked yet profoundly powerful tools in the art of seduction. While many techniques focus on direct physical stimulation, the art of breathing on the clitoris offers a tantalizing form of indirect stimulation that can drive a woman to the heights of ecstasy. Understanding how to use breath to amplify her pleasure requires not only a delicate touch, but also an awareness of her responses, creating a deeply personal and intimate connection. Breathing on her clitoris may seem simple, but when done correctly, it can awaken her senses in a way that mere touch cannot achieve. This technique works by playing on the natural sensitivity of the clitoris and the surrounding area. The coolness of your breath contrasts with the warmth of her skin, creating a thrilling sensation that can heighten her arousal and anticipation. To begin, create a comfortable and relaxed environment where she feels safe and open to new experiences. Soft lighting, soothing music, and a warm room can set the stage for an intimate encounter. Start with gentle caresses and kisses on her inner thighs, gradually moving closer to her vulva. The goal is to build up anticipation and sensitivity before introducing the power of your breath. When you're ready to incorporate breath into your play, start by lightly blowing on the area surrounding her clitoris. This could be her inner thighs, her labia, or just above her clitoral hood. The sensation of your warm breath against her skin should be light and teasing, designed to send shivers down her spine. The key here is to be gentle. Think of it as creating a breeze that tickles her senses rather than a strong gust of air. This subtlety is what makes the technique so effective, as it taps into her body's natural response to delicate sensations. As you blow lightly on her clitoris, pay close attention to her body language. Is she reacting with a slight shiver, or is her breathing becoming more shallow and rapid? These are signs that the sensation is having the desired effect. The Stoics believed in the importance of observation and mindfulness, and this principle applies to the art of using breath to enhance pleasure. By being attuned to her reactions, you can adjust the intensity and duration of your breath to match her level of arousal. You can also experiment with varying the temperature of your breath. Warm breath, created by exhaling slowly through your mouth, can create a soothing and sensual experience. To contrast this, you can try a cooler breath by exhaling more quickly or by lightly blowing with your lips pursed. The alternation between warm and cool breath can create a dynamic and engaging sensation that keeps her on the edge of pleasure. This contrast not only stimulates her physically but also engages her mind, as she anticipates the next sensation you'll deliver. Another technique involves combining breath with gentle touch. For instance, you could lightly trace your fingers around her clitoral hood while simultaneously breathing on her clitoris. The combination of tactile and breath stimulation can create a multisensory experience that is more intense than either technique alone. The Stoics understood that true mastery comes from the integration of different skills and techniques, and by combining breath with touch, you can elevate her experience to new heights. As you continue to breathe on her clitoris, gradually increase the intensity of your breath. You can move closer, allowing your breath to become warmer and more concentrated on the clitoral area. This can be particularly effective if she is already highly aroused, as the increased intensity can push her closer to orgasm. However, it's important to maintain a balance. Too much intensity too quickly can overwhelm her senses, so be sure to gauge her responses carefully. In addition to breath, you can introduce other forms of indirect stimulation, such as whispering softly in her ear while you're working your magic with your breath. Whispering sweet nothings, compliments, or even describing what you're going to do next can enhance the psychological aspect of the experience. The Stoics believed that words have power, and in this context, the right words can amplify the physical sensations and deepen her emotional connection to the experience. As she approaches orgasm, consider transitioning from breath to more direct forms of stimulation, such as using your tongue or fingers. The shift from the light, teasing sensation of breath to the more intense, focused touch can create a dramatic increase in pleasure, leading to a powerful climax. The Stoics taught that timing is everything, and knowing when to escalate your techniques is crucial to maximizing her pleasure. After she climaxes, allow her to come down slowly by continuing to breathe gently on her clitoris or by offering soothing touches. This can help her relax and fully enjoy the afterglow of the experience. The beauty of using breath as a form of stimulation is that it can be as light or as intense as you want it to be, making it a versatile tool in your arsenal of pleasure techniques. In conclusion, breathing on the clitoris is a subtle yet highly effective way to enhance a woman's pleasure. By mastering this technique, you can create an experience that is both physically and emotionally satisfying, deepening the connection between you and your partner. Like the Stoics, who value the integration of mind and body, this approach to pleasure emphasizes the importance of engaging all the senses, making every intimate moment more meaningful and fulfilling. Chapter 5: The Up and Down Method, a Dance of Sensation. In the world of sexual techniques, the up and down method stands out as a timeless classic. It's a simple yet incredibly effective way to stimulate the clitoris, offering a rhythm and consistency that can drive a woman to the peak of pleasure. This method, when done correctly, can create a wave of sensation that builds and crescendos, leading to intense and deeply satisfying orgasms. The up and down method involves a rhythmic movement of your fingers or tongue along the length of the clitoris. The key to this technique is maintaining a steady pace and pressure, creating a consistent sensation that allows her arousal to build naturally. The simplicity of the movement belies its power. When done with intention and care, this method can unlock some of the most intense pleasure she's ever experienced. Begin by positioning yourself so that you have easy access to her clitoris. If you're using your fingers, you might want to start by gently spreading her labia to expose the clitoris fully. This allows for more direct stimulation and gives you greater control over your movements. The Stoics believed in the importance of preparation and precision, and this approach to the up and down method reflects that philosophy. Once you're in position, start with a light touch, gently moving your fingers or tongue up and down along the length of her clitoris. The movement should be smooth and fluid, without any jerky motions. Think of it as a dance. Each stroke should flow seamlessly into the next, creating a continuous wave of sensation. The goal is to maintain a rhythm that she can sink into, allowing her to lose herself in the pleasure you're creating. As you continue, pay close attention to her responses. Is she arching her back? Is her breathing becoming more rapid? These are signs that your technique is working and that she's becoming more aroused. The Stoics valued mindfulness and presence, and this is particularly important when using the up and down method. By staying attuned to her reactions, you can adjust your pace and pressure to match her level of arousal, ensuring that she experiences the maximum amount of pleasure. One of the benefits of the up and down method is that it allows for a wide range of variations. You can experiment with different speeds, pressures, and angles to find what works best for her. For instance, you might start with slow, gentle strokes, gradually increasing the speed as her arousal builds. Or you might alternate between light, feathery touches and firmer, more intense strokes, creating a dynamic contrast that keeps her on the edge of climax. Another variation involves using different parts of your fingers or tongue to create different sensations. For example, you might use the pad of your finger for a broader, more diffuse sensation, then switch to the tip of your finger for a more focused, intense touch. Similarly, with your tongue, you can alternate between broad, flat strokes and more pointed, precise movements. The Stoics believed in the power of diversity and adaptability, and by varying your technique, you can keep the experience fresh and exciting for her. To enhance the experience even further, consider incorporating other forms of stimulation into the mix. For example, you could use your other hand to gently massage her breasts or thighs, or you could whisper words of encouragement or praise as you continue the up and down motion. The Stoics understood that true mastery involves the integration of multiple elements, and by combining different forms of stimulation, you can create a more holistic and satisfying experience. As she approaches orgasm, you may notice her body tensing and her breathing becoming more erratic. This is a sign that she's on the verge of climax, and it's important to maintain your rhythm and intensity to guide her over the edge. The up and down method is particularly effective in this regard because it provides a consistent, reliable sensation that she can focus on as she builds towards orgasm. The Stoics taught that consistency and perseverance are key to achieving any goal, and in this context, your steady, rhythmic movements can help her achieve one of the most powerful orgasms of her life. After she climaxes, allow her a few moments to catch her breath and come down from the high. You can continue with light, soothing strokes to help her relax, or you can transition to a different form of touch to prolong the pleasure. The beauty of the up and down method is its versatility. It can be as intense or as gentle as you want it to be, making it suitable for any stage of the sexual experience. Chapter 6: Circular Motions, Unleashing a New Dimension of Pleasure. When it comes to stimulating the clitoris, circular motions introduce an entirely new dimension of pleasure. This technique harnesses the power of gentle rotations to activate different parts of the clitoris, providing a varied and comprehensive stimulation that can lead to profound sexual satisfaction. The beauty of circular motions lies in their ability to combine rhythm with versatility, making this method a favorite for many women. The circular motion technique involves moving your fingers or tongue in a circular pattern around the clitoris. Unlike the up and down method, which focuses on linear movement, circular motions cover a broader area, stimulating different parts of the clitoris and its surrounding tissue. This holistic approach can awaken new sensations, as the constant change in direction and pressure keeps the experience dynamic and engaging. To begin, position yourself comfortably, ensuring you have full access to her clitoral area. Start with light, teasing strokes to warm her up, building anticipation before you introduce the circular motions. When ready, gently place your fingers or tongue at the base of her clitoral hood and begin making small, slow circles. The circles should be fluid and continuous, with no abrupt stops or changes in direction. Think of it as drawing invisible circles on her skin, each one creating ripples of pleasure that radiate outward. As you continue, experiment with the size of the circles. Small, tight circles can create a concentrated sensation directly on the clitoris, while larger circles can stimulate the entire vulva, adding variety to the experience. The Stoics believed in balance and moderation, and in this context, finding the right balance between small and large circles can enhance her pleasure without overwhelming her senses. One of the advantages of circular motions is that they allow you to explore different parts of the clitoris. The clitoris is more than just the visible glands. It extends internally, with nerve endings that can be accessed through the surrounding tissue. By varying the placement of your circles, you can stimulate not just the clitoral head, but also the sides and base, providing a fuller and more immersive experience. The Stoics taught that understanding the full scope of a situation is key to mastery, and by exploring all aspects of the clitoris, you can help her achieve deeper and more intense pleasure. Pay close attention to her body language and vocal responses as you move through the circular motions. If she begins to moan or shift her hips in rhythm with your movements, it's a sign that you're hitting the right spots. You can increase the speed and pressure slightly to intensify the sensation, but be careful not to overdo it. Too much intensity too quickly can be overwhelming. The Stoics valued patience and control, and these principles are essential when applying this technique. Another way to enhance the circular motions is by introducing variation in direction. You can start by moving clockwise, then switch to counterclockwise, or even alternate between the two. This change in direction can create a new sensation as her body adjusts to the different angle of stimulation. The unpredictability of the motion keeps her mind engaged, adding an element of surprise that can heighten her arousal. Combining circular motions with other techniques can also elevate the experience. For instance, you could alternate between circular motions and the up and down method, creating a dynamic interplay of sensations. Or you could use your other hand to stimulate her G-spot simultaneously, combining external and internal stimulation for a more intense orgasm. The Stoics understood the importance of synergy. By integrating different techniques, you can create a more powerful and holistic experience. As she approaches climax, you might notice her body responding more strongly to the circular motions. Her muscles may tense, and her breathing may become more rapid. This is the moment to maintain a steady pace, guiding her to the peak of her pleasure. The continuous, rhythmic nature of the circular motions can help her focus on the sensation, allowing her to lose herself in the moment. The Stoics believed in the power of consistency, and this principle applies here. By keeping the motion steady and deliberate, you can lead her to a satisfying and powerful orgasm. After she climaxes, allow her a moment to relax and enjoy the afterglow. You can continue with gentle circular motions, gradually decreasing in intensity to help her come down from the high. The circular motion technique is versatile and adaptable, making it a valuable tool in your sexual repertoire. In conclusion, circular motions offer a unique and effective way to stimulate the clitoris, combining rhythm with versatility to create a deeply satisfying experience. By mastering this technique, you can provide your partner with a rich and varied sexual experience that engages both body and mind, deepening your connection and enhancing your intimacy. Chapter 7: The Clitoral Hug, Encapsulating Pleasure. The clitoral hug is a technique that focuses on surrounding the clitoris with gentle, encompassing pressure, creating a sensation of warmth and security that can lead to profound arousal and pleasure. This method is particularly effective for women who enjoy a more enveloping form of stimulation, as it combines the power of pressure with the intimacy of a close, personal touch. The clitoral hug involves using your fingers, lips, or both to softly press around the clitoris, creating a cocoon of sensation that can heighten her arousal. The key to this technique is to apply even, consistent pressure without overwhelming the sensitive area. The Stoics believed in the importance of balance and harmony, and the clitoral hug embodies these principles by offering a sensation that is both intense and comforting. To start, ensure that she is fully aroused and relaxed. The clitoral hug works best when her clitoris is already sensitive and engorged, as this allows the pressure to have a more pronounced effect. Begin by gently caressing her vulva, warming up the area before moving on to the clitoris. When you're ready, use your thumb and forefinger to softly encircle her clitoris, applying gentle pressure as if you were holding a delicate object. The idea is to create a sensation of being held, which can be incredibly arousing for many women. As you hold her clitoris, start with small, gentle squeezes, releasing and reapplying pressure in a slow, rhythmic pattern. The goal is to create a steady, pulsing sensation that she can sink into, allowing her to focus on the pleasure you're providing. The Stoics valued rhythm and consistency, and these elements are crucial in the clitoral hug technique. You can enhance the sensation by adding a slight rocking motion with your hand, moving it back and forth while maintaining the pressure. This creates a dynamic experience as the pressure shifts slightly with each movement, stimulating different parts of the clitoris. The Stoics taught that variety within consistency can lead to mastery, and by varying your movements while maintaining pressure, you can keep the experience engaging and exciting. Another variation involves using your lips instead of your fingers. Place your lips around her clitoris as if you were giving it a gentle kiss and apply soft suction. This creates a warm, enveloping sensation that many women find deeply satisfying. You can alternate between using your lips and fingers or combine the two for a more intense experience. The Stoics believed in the power of adaptability, and by using different parts of your body, you can provide a more comprehensive and fulfilling experience. Pay attention to her responses as you apply the clitoral hug. If she starts to moan or her breathing becomes more rapid, it's a sign that the technique is working. You can increase the intensity slightly by squeezing a little harder or adding more suction, but be careful not to go too far. This technique is about gentle, encompassing pressure, not force. The Stoics valued moderation, and in this context, less is often more. The clitoral hug can be particularly effective when combined with other forms of stimulation. For example, you could use your other hand to stimulate her G-spot or to caress her breasts, creating a full-body experience that enhances her pleasure. The Stoics believed in the integration of different elements to achieve a harmonious result, and by combining the clitoral hug with other techniques, you can create a more powerful and holistic experience. As she approaches orgasm, maintain the pressure and rhythm, guiding her to the peak of her pleasure. The clitoral hug is especially effective at creating deep, internal orgasms, as the steady pressure can lead to a more profound release. The Stoics understood the importance of persistence and focus, and by staying consistent with your movements, you can help her achieve a deeply satisfying climax. After she climaxes, continue to hold her clitoris gently as she comes down from the high. The clitoral hug can provide a comforting sensation even after orgasm, helping her to relax and enjoy the afterglow. The warmth and security of the clitoral hug make it a powerful tool in your sexual repertoire, offering a way to connect deeply with your partner while providing intense pleasure. In conclusion, the clitoral hug is a technique that combines the power of pressure with the intimacy of close contact, creating a deeply satisfying experience for both partners. By mastering this technique, you can offer your partner a unique form of stimulation that is both comforting and arousing, deepening your connection and enhancing your sexual relationship. The Stoics believed in the importance of balance and harmony, and the clitoral hug embodies these principles, providing a sensation that is as emotionally fulfilling as it is physically pleasurable. Chapter 8: The Direct Approach, Mastering Targeted Stimulation. Direct stimulation of the clitoris is often viewed as the most straightforward method of pleasuring a woman, yet it's a technique that requires a delicate balance of pressure, rhythm, and sensitivity to truly master. The clitoris is a highly sensitive organ, packed with thousands of nerve endings, making it the epicenter of female sexual pleasure. The key to effective direct stimulation lies in understanding how to engage this sensitivity without overwhelming it, creating an experience that is both intensely pleasurable and deeply satisfying. The direct approach involves focusing your attention directly on the clitoral glands, the visible part of the clitoris. This small but mighty organ is the most sensitive part of a woman's body, and when stimulated correctly, it can lead to powerful orgasms. However, because of its sensitivity, direct stimulation must be approached with care and precision. The Stoics understood that true mastery comes from the ability to apply just the right amount of effort, and this principle is crucial when it comes to direct clitoral stimulation. To begin, make sure she is fully aroused before you start applying direct stimulation. The clitoris becomes more sensitive as arousal builds, so starting too early can be uncomfortable or even painful. Warm her up with other techniques, such as kissing, touching, or using indirect stimulation like the circular motions discussed earlier. Once she is sufficiently aroused, you can move on to direct stimulation. Position yourself comfortably so that you have full control over your movements. Gently place your fingers or tongue directly on her clitoral glands, starting with light, soft strokes. The key here is to begin slowly, allowing her body to adjust to the direct contact. Pay close attention to her reactions. If she seems to pull away or tense up, it might be a sign that the pressure is too intense. The Stoics believed in the importance of moderation, and in this context, starting slow and gradually building intensity is the best approach. As you continue, you can begin to increase the pressure slightly, but always be mindful of her comfort. Some women prefer a very light touch, while others enjoy more firm pressure. Communication is essential here. Don't be afraid to ask her what feels best. The Stoics valued wisdom and understanding, and applying these principles to your sexual encounters will ensure that both you and your partner have a fulfilling experience. The rhythm of your movements is also crucial in direct stimulation. Consistent, steady strokes are often the most effective as they allow her to sink into the sensation and build toward orgasm. However, you can also introduce some variation to keep things interesting. Try alternating between slow and fast strokes, or experiment with different pressures to see what elicits the strongest response. The Stoics believed in adaptability, and being able to adjust your technique based on her feedback will make you a more attentive and skilled lover. One of the challenges of direct clitoral stimulation is maintaining the right level of intensity without overstimulating the clitoris. Because the clitoris is so sensitive, too much stimulation can lead to discomfort or numbness, which can quickly diminish the pleasure. To avoid this, be sure to vary your technique, alternate between direct stimulation and other forms of touch, such as massaging the surrounding vulva or using circular motions. This variation prevents overstimulation and keeps the experience dynamic and enjoyable. Another way to enhance direct stimulation is by using lubrication. The clitoris can become more sensitive as arousal builds, and a little extra lubrication can make the experience more comfortable and pleasurable. You can use a water-based lubricant or even her natural lubrication. Just be sure to apply it gently and evenly. The Stoics taught that preparation and foresight are key to success, and taking the time to ensure proper lubrication is a simple but important step in maximizing pleasure. As she nears orgasm, maintain a steady rhythm and be attentive to her cues. You might notice her breathing becoming more rapid, her muscles tensing, or her hips moving in sync with your movements. These are signs that she is close to climax, and it's important to stay consistent to guide her over the edge. The Stoics valued perseverance, and in this context, maintaining your focus and rhythm will lead to a more satisfying orgasm for her. After she climaxes, continue with gentle, soothing strokes to help her come down from the high. The post-orgasmic phase is a time for relaxation and connection, and maintaining physical contact can help deepen your bond. The Stoics believed in the importance of connection and emotional fulfillment, and by staying present and attentive, you can enhance the emotional intimacy of your sexual experience. In conclusion, direct stimulation of the clitoris is a powerful technique that, when done correctly, can lead to intense pleasure and deep satisfaction. By mastering the balance of pressure, rhythm, and sensitivity, you can provide your partner with a fulfilling sexual experience that honors both her physical and emotional needs. The Stoics taught that true mastery comes from understanding and moderation, and by applying these principles to your sexual encounters, you can become a more skilled and attentive lover. Chapter 9: Heart Opener, a pathway to deeper connection. The final technique in our exploration of female pleasure is one that transcends physical stimulation and touches the very core of emotional intimacy, the heart opener. This method is about creating a connection that goes beyond the physical act of sex, fostering a deep sense of trust, vulnerability, and love between you and your partner. The heart opener is not just about making her feel good, it's about making her feel seen, valued, and cherished, which in turn can lead to the most profound and satisfying sexual experiences. The concept of the heart opener is rooted in the idea that true sexual satisfaction comes from a place of emotional connection. The Stoics believed that the mind and body are deeply interconnected, and that true pleasure is achieved when both are fully engaged. The heart opener technique involves creating an environment of safety and trust where your partner feels comfortable enough to fully express herself and explore her desires. To begin, set the stage by creating a space that is comfortable, private, and free from distractions. This could be as simple as lighting some candles, playing soft music, or ensuring that you won't be interrupted. The goal is to create an atmosphere where she can relax and feel completely at ease. The Stoics valued the importance of environment and context, and in this case, setting the right mood is essential for the heart opener to be effective. Once the environment is set, start by engaging in activities that build emotional intimacy. This could include deep, meaningful conversation, sharing your thoughts and feelings, or even just holding each other close. The key is to create a sense of connection and understanding, where both of you feel emotionally aligned and in tune with each other. The Stoics believed in the power of connection, and by prioritizing emotional intimacy, you lay the foundation for a more fulfilling physical connection. When you're ready to move into physical touch, start with gentle, loving caresses that are more about connection than stimulation. The goal here is not to rush into sexual activity, but to build a sense of closeness and trust. You might begin by softly stroking her hair, kissing her forehead, or simply holding her hand. These small gestures of affection can create a powerful sense of security and love, which in turn can enhance her arousal and readiness for more intimate touch. As you continue, you can gradually introduce more sensual touches, always being mindful of her responses. The heart opener technique is about being fully present and attentive to her needs, both physical and emotional. Pay attention to her body language, her breathing, and any verbal cues she gives. The Stoics believed in the importance of mindfulness, and by staying fully present, you can create a deeper connection that enhances the sexual experience for both of you. One of the key aspects of the heart opener is the concept of giving and receiving pleasure in a way that feels mutually fulfilling. This means being open to her desires and needs, and being willing to explore them together. It also means being vulnerable yourself, sharing your own desires, and allowing her to take the lead at times. The Stoics taught that true strength comes from vulnerability, and by being open and honest with each other, you can create a more balanced and harmonious sexual experience. As the physical connection deepens, you can integrate other techniques, such as the ones discussed in previous chapters, to enhance the experience. However, the focus should always remain on maintaining that emotional connection. The heart opener is not just about reaching orgasm, it's about deepening your bond and creating a space where both of you feel loved and valued. When she reaches climax, hold her close and continue to provide gentle, comforting touches. The post-orgasmic phase is a time of great vulnerability, and maintaining physical and emotional contact can help strengthen the connection you've built. The Stoics believed in the importance of nurturing relationships, and by staying close after the physical act, you can reinforce the emotional bond that will carry over into other aspects of your relationship. In conclusion, the heart opener is a technique that transcends the physical act of sex and touches the very core of emotional intimacy. By creating an environment of safety, trust, and love, you can foster a deeper connection that enhances both the physical and emotional aspects of your sexual relationship. The Stoics taught that true fulfillment comes from the harmony of mind and body, and by applying these principles to your sexual encounters, you can create a more satisfying and meaningful connection with your partner. As we've journeyed through these 9 powerful techniques, it's clear that mastering female pleasure goes far beyond mere physical touch. It's about understanding the intricate balance between the mind and body, anticipation and release, connection and trust. The Stoics, in their wisdom, recognized that true mastery of any art form, including the art of love, requires patience, mindfulness, and a deep understanding of human nature. By incorporating these techniques into your intimate moments, you not only enhance her pleasure, but also deepen the emotional bond between you. Whether it's the subtlety of teasing over the pants, the precision of direct stimulation, or the profound connection fostered by the heart opener, each move is a step toward a more fulfilling and meaningful relationship. Remember, these techniques are not just about making her scream with pleasure, they're about building trust, creating intimacy, and ultimately, forming a connection that goes beyond the physical. As you practice and refine these skills, you'll find that the benefits extend into every aspect of your relationship, bringing you closer together in ways you may not have imagined. Before we wrap up, I encourage you to reflect on these lessons and apply them with intention and care. And as always, if you've enjoyed this episode, please watch until the end and don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment below with your thoughts and experiences. Your stories and feedback help us all learn and grow together. Thank you for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next episode.